All right. Good morning. Yeah, we're gonna ignore this whole setup because I hate it. We're working on this guy today. She's not moving any hot air, but I'm dressed for outside because it's minus 27 out. So let's take some layers off. No more. Yeah, there's the snow pants, and I think one more. All right, that's pretty good. We just got pants, shirt, and undershirt and pants. Back to work over here. Yeah, I'll look at you in a sec. Okay, so I actually replaced this guy. Gosh, 4 or 5 years ago. It's an engineered air furnace. It has a return air and an outside air. You can open up the outside air to give it more if you want, and it takes all the air and sends it through the floor, comes out some registers. It's supposed to be set at around 18 degrees Celsius. And yeah, I remember being really upset because it was supposed to be an exact replacement. That box was mounted on the left side. That's all your electrical components, most of them. So I was like, shit. So I had to take the box off, put it over here, and run a couple whips to the right spots. But I digress. Nice. It's 120 volts if I remember correctly. We do. No power. Okay, how about we go hot to ground? No power. What? F1 is the furnace. They said they turned off this fresh air fan switch because it was getting cold. I think they turned off the wrong one. They meant to turn off this one. It lives! Combustion motor is running. Main fan motor just went. Now we should ignite. Ignition controller should make our spark happen and then fire happen. Bam! There we go. This modulating gas valve should modulate to maintain a specific discharge or set point, and that is controlled by this engineered air X-Track controller. Change our meter to DC volts. So our set point is going to be read in volts DC. It's going to be something point something. If it's like 1.8, that's 18 degrees Celsius is our set point. So I'm going to go between our SPC, discharge set point, and a good ground. The set point is currently 35 degrees Celsius. So we know what the set point is. What is the measured detemp, discharge air temperature? 1 volt is 10 degrees Celsius. So let's go that to ground. Currently it's 29 degrees Celsius. So it's giving it some fucking heat. And we can test that by going to one of the vents over here and seeing what the temperature is. So go over to any discharge vent, see what we're cranking out. Oh yeah, she feels toasty. Heck yeah, okay, she's cooking. That's good. I'm back over at our X-Track controller. Yeah, it's pumping out 38 degrees Celsius. So it'll dial back just a little bit to maintain 35. Woo! So, yeah, gotta love an easy one. But while I'm here, I'm noticing things. This boiler's having a rough go. These pumps are having a rough go. Notice the discharge of our pump is around 14 psi, but our suction is damn near 0. That's not good. Our Axiom tank says it's low. So I'm gonna be a good boy and I'm gonna fill this up manually because I know all this is closed. So I'm just going to open that just a hair. Introduce some fresh water. Get that up to about 12 psi. All right, we've got 11 psi on the return for this boiler. I'm happy with that. This Axiom feeder is low on pressure. I hope that tank is pressurized the way it's supposed to. I'm supposed to be here for this thing, which is still running beautifully. Oh, and as a side note, on these X-Track controllers, there is a fuse on the backside of it. So if you take it off and turn it around, there's a fuse on the bottom of it. So if this ever has power in, but isn't doing anything, this has a fuse. So don't replace this thing, it's got a fuse on the back. telling us that set point's too low. So you want the return to be 12 psi, but this is currently piped to my heating supply. According to this, my supply is around 20. According to this, my supply is around 23 psi. Let's bump this up. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I hope that's done right. Oh, I guess I could. Hold on. We're also going to check this expansion tank real quick. I'm going to turn off my boiler, isolate this, relieve the pressure. Hopefully it doesn't overflow. Isolate this guy over here. Drain. Bet you I shouldn't have filled you. I'm sorry, let me restart. These expansion tanks have a balloon inside of it that, as the system heats up and expands, travels into here and expands the balloon. On the outside of the balloon is air. Air is acting as a cushion, so as the balloon expands, air is pushing back into the balloon. Now these come from the factory, pressurized at 12 psi. And that's for any normal two-story home, and if it's plugged into the return side of the pump for your heating system. Our system is plugged onto the supply side. The supply pressure being around 20 psi. Yeah, around 20 psi. So, in order to check what pressure somebody set it at, and supposed to change the pressure of this on the air side when you install it. So this is where you charge the air, but I can't check the air pressure while it's in service because the balloon inside is expanding, it's pushing on the air, which increases the air pressure on the outside. So I have to drain this of fluid. I can't do that while this is heating. If this is heating and the fluid's expanding and it has nowhere to go, it's bad time. So boiler is off. This is my isolation to this guy, which is also to that guy. And of course, whoever put this in didn't put a drain or a union or an isolation nearby here. So I'm gonna have to do is drain into here, and I just filled it. So I have to siphon this out. And then after I siphon it out, it drains whatever's in the pipe into here. And that's good, because I need that to have 0 psi. So let's do that. Fill this hose up with water. Fill it up with the fluid. Put our hand on the end of it. Take it out. And then it should start draining. Yeah, there we go. And that's a siphon. We're sucking water out of here and draining it into here. Science! Alright, so that took a bucket and a little bit to get that down to 0 psi. I like this digital display. It's cool. Here, clean you up later. Okay, now we need to check the pressure on you. Oh, and I did this earlier, but a way to check your expansion tank. Sometimes it's a diaphragm style. There might be a diaphragm in the middle, and that diaphragm flexes as the water pushes on the bottom of it and air pushes on the top of it. Or it's a balloon style. This is a balloon style. I did check before. If it sounds hollow, then you know your expansion tank's good. If while it's in service you're tapping it and it sounds, I don't know, like that almost, then water has filled out of the balloon onto the wall. Again, if it's a diaphragm style, the bottom won't sound hollow, but the top will. Okay, let's check the air. I've got this little tire pressure filler thing that I then put an adapter on so that I can use it on my gauges. Because I don't have an air compressor, so I use nitrogen, which is used in my field, through my gauges and into here. From there, so that we got, 13.9 psi, almost what factory charges. And we need it, because it's plugged into the supply of the system, to be 20 psi. So we're going to give it some juice. Okay. Just give it to her. This might be a two-handed operation. Hey, look at that. 20 PSI. Let's go. We're gonna write down somewhere in here in felt what it's set for and why. All right, now we're gonna pump you back up. I'm gonna turn this on. It should pump this line and that expansion tank up to 20 PSI, which is what I set that for, all the way up to this valve here that I have shut off. Right? Science. On, bitch. Yeah, there we go. Oh, pump the jam, pump it up. Oh, you peed up up there. That didn't take long. So let's open this up. Open you up. Awesome. Let's see how much fluid it will take. I bet you there was too much fluid in here and the balloon was expanding too much because there wasn't enough air to push it back. I don't think I'm going to get all of this fluid back into this Axiom tank. Okay, see, she finished pumping. I think this will drop down a little bit and it'll pump some more. I haven't added anything to this tank. So that's how much extra fluid was pushing on this balloon. Crazy, crazy. Okay, we're gonna fill this up to the max mark. I don't know how much further I want to look into this, but the job I came here for is finished, so we are done. To all you fucks who are gonna be like, oh, you gotta make sure that there's no leak and blah, blah, blah. Guys, this is a site that's an hour and a half away. I know the maintenance guys that work here. They were asking me just a month ago how to change a zone valve. And so I guarantee you they drained the fuck out of the system trying to replace this zone valve. And they just never pumped it up when I told them, hey, you should pump it up with fluid before you're done. So don't worry about it. Also, my customers are the best. Oh, lunchtime. Ah!